Hey guys, it's Drawin here. In this video is going to be slightly different. I'm going to be doing a commentary over this speed sketch video. I don't actually have a speed paint because I haven't been actually drawing a lot this week. I haven't got any finished images that I've actually recorded and uploaded. So this is just a sketch that I recorded last night at the time of hope. I think I'm going to upload this Saturday instead of Sunday. So it would have been last night. This is just me sketching out a character design because I want to have a villainous character in my kind of mascots universe. Yeah, that's just a sketch of him because I had this idea in my head and I really wanted to get it down. So I was like, hey, why not record it while I'm making it? So the whole idea for him is that he is a cyborg, and he's lost his arm and part of his face. And I say part of his face, it would have been his skull, technically. It would have been blown off, and yeah, we're not getting any the gruesome details. Yeah, I'm basically just gonna walk through how I actually made him. So you can see on the side there I made a mood board. If you're gonna make characters, I really recommend a mood board. Even if you just have a couple of images, it's you don't understand how helpful it is. Sometimes you just have that there on the side that you can just refer to instead of constantly flicking through Google or just going from your mind. Also, another thing that I recommend if you're going to be designing characters is not to just have one design. You should probably have more than one design, a couple of designs maybe, before designing which one's going to be your final. So don't do what I did. Don't design one thing and then decide, hey, this is my final design. Because honestly, when I look at the finished drawing, well, finished sketch even I should say, I do see a lot of things where I'm like, maybe I should change that in future. So don't just have one final, just have one design. Even if it's just two that you have to choose between, or maybe even three. And the actual concept art, it doesn't have to be finished, or it doesn't even have to look good. You just have to get the concept of the character down. Another thing I like to keep in mind when I'm designing characters is that what you want it to be, you want it to look good. Okay, every character, the person who's designing a character, they want it to look cool. Okay, they want it to look appealing. But also you have to keep in mind, depending on what your character is and does, it has to make sense. If you have a soldier, it wouldn't make sense for them to just go into battle in a pair of speedos or something like that. It just wouldn't add up. It wouldn't make sense. I guess it's okay if you make a joke character of a soldier who fights in his speedos, but I mean generally if you're making a serious character, you should probably have a good mix of cool and helpful. In this, he has a belt which has his I'm probably gonna flesh out the belt a bit more, but in this I just got really lazy. I wanted him to have a gun holster, but I was I couldn't be bothered to draw a gun. So I was like, oh, I'll just hide it on the side there. So he's a roboticist, someone who makes robots and whatnot. But that's why he has a robotic arm, because he lost his arm and also part of his face. So that's why he has robotic parts there, and he made them himself and put them on himself. And I was gonna have more of his tools in his belt, but I really couldn't. I haven't really got a lot to say about him. It's pretty straightforward. He's a Sphinx cat who does evil things. It's really just as simple as that. And characters don't have to be more than that. They can be as simple as you want. Another thing I should say, this is not something you definitely should do every time. If you have a better way of designing characters or making concept for your characters, just go ahead and do it that way. If you're more comfortable doing it that way, that is. Again, you can see here I'm adding armor to him because he's not a warrior, but he does fight a lot. So I thought it would make more sense if I added metal plates to his knees and stuff. So if he gets shot, it's just gonna bounce off. And I also added those knee pads so that when he was moving around or running, he wouldn't his legs wouldn't be totally stiff. Also, speaking of a mixture of cool and what actually, you know, makes sense, that shoulder pad I think you can make shorter in the future, because they're quite long and they're very spiky. I think they'll get in the way a lot, like if he's like doing something. Here I'm just making, you can see the colour palette there, it's pretty straightforward. I just went with regular Sphinx colours, which is like kind of like a beigey pink colour. Also, don't be afraid to change your colour palette. Like, I change it a lot throughout this, but I like to have like, I don't want to have like an uncertain colour palette. I like to have a very specific colour palette. Also, another thing I also like to keep in mind, you keep a lot of things in mind when you're designing a character. I like to make it obvious, or try to make it obvious, who is the villain and who is the good guy by like the colours and his expression and whatnot. Honestly, when I was first designing this character, I was like looking at him and I was like, oh goodness, he doesn't actually look like a villain to me. Like, if someone presented me with this character, I would have just thought, oh no. He just looks like a soldier. So, try and make like a character. Actually, it depends on what you're going for, but usually I try and make it obvious who's villain and who's good and stuff. As I go along with this, it starts to become like more obvious to me that he's a villain. Like at the beginning, I was like looking at the sketch, I was like, oh no, he doesn't look like a villain at all. But now as I go along and start actually colouring things in, it's starting to look more like a villain to me, which is amazing. Because I got really scared. I was like, oh no, he doesn't look villainous enough. But yeah. And we're at the end now, so that's about it. Thanks for watching. See us.
I'm